This is scary old Pappy, and what you're looking at is a horse-drawn hearse. I built this back in 2019 to go with my Home Depot horse skeleton. In the next multi-sets of videos, you're going to see how it was built, and if you want to build one, I tell you step by step how to build it. Using old bicycle wheels, crates, crate wood that is, pallets, old plywood, and the only thing you really have to buy is the coach lamps, which are porch lights, and maybe some steel. But there it is. Enjoy. Hi, this is Scary Old Pappy, and I, like you, am into Halloween. I like making Halloween props, and today I'm going to show you in a several parts how to make a horse-drawn hearse. This will be made from old crate wood and pallets, so we don't have to spend any money on wood. And bicycle wheels are going to become the wagon wheels. We'll show you how to do that. This is a pretty hard project, but it's also going to be a fun one. So let's get started. What you're seeing here is 3 long runners that are going to be the frame and the 2 end pieces. And what we're going to do is put the 2 end pieces on and then the centerpiece, and then we're going to work on the deck. And the deck is going to be made from these little strips that I collect over at Home Depot and Lowe's. Okay, I've got the first part done. This is the frame, and these are almost 2x4s, but they're not because they're crate wood, and who cares, because it's just a prop, okay? Anyway, I will be putting on some plywood on each end of the corner for strength. Alright, what you see now is the plywood reinforcement that I'm going to put on each corner. And these pieces will fit up into here like this, and they will be glued and screwed down with sheetrock nails, and that will give us a good reinforced piece. And then we'll start putting down the little slats that I'm going to tell you about. I'm walking over to where I store the little slats that I'm talking about. We're going to talk about these. These are, as you can see here, they are little 2.5 inch by 1/4 inch thick slats, and these things are placed between 2x4s, 2x6s, 2x12s when they're in a big stack, where they're being bundled and brought into places like Home Depot and Lowe's and any other lumber place. They literally get thrown away, and I've used them for making pirate chests for one Halloween thing I did, and I've used them for other things, but we're going to use them for the floor. And I've got a couple cut out over here. This will be the floor of the hearse, and I will be spacing them purposely with a gap so that you can light from underneath and get an interesting lighting effect that way. And also you can light inside, and it will throw an interesting light on the ground beneath the hearse. So we'll get on with that, and I'll show you as things go on. As you can see, there's spaces like I was mentioning before between the slats. Also, you'll notice there are cracks in there from the nails. And this is okay too, because remember, it's supposed to be an old hearse. And I use glue along with the nails to hold it down. Now that the frame is done, we're ready to start working on the suspension for the wagon wheels and also for the sides. Hi, we're back, and now what we're doing, as you can see, there is the entire back of the hearse all nailed up and everything, and now we are ready to go on with the cutting of the front of the hearse, which would be the bottom platform of the hearse where the driver sits. And there's our mark to start the cutting. As you can see, by using the chop saw, I have notched out for where these are to go on the main frame or the back of the hearse. Let me show you. As you can see, they're sitting there, and that is the overall length now of the hearse is right here. On the back, hi Mr. Pickles, all the way to the front. But we're not done yet. We have to notch the front of the hearse now so that those will go down and be level. As you can see, the notches have been cut on both ends of the front part of the frame we were talking about. And as you can look down here, you can see the notches on the front part of the frame. And now I will slip them together. As you now can see, I've slipped them together. And remember, this is being made so you can unbolt it and pack it away for next year in a very flat and orderly manner. So the front part of this hearse is going to be removed with the aid of just a few bolts on the frame holding the two pieces of frame together. At this point, we're ready to bolt the front half of the hearse frame to the back half. I've got it all measured out and cut, and they're clamped on with bar clamps. I'm going to drill holes and bolt them on, and it will be ready to add the last two pieces and be ready to finish up. What I'm showing you now is the bolts and the front frame of the hearse that's going to go up 2 feet out. Now, this piece that I've added right here is a piece that is going to be screwed to complete the other half of the front of the hearse, and it's going to screw here, as you can see. Now, when this is completed, and I will put 2 more pieces in, one of them is going to be the front of the hearse, as you can see. Hi, Mr. Pickles. And it's going to go across this way, and then there'll be another piece in there because you have to have a piece of plywood on here to support the front axle assembly, and that is something we have got to talk about because I have not shown anything about that, but we will. What we're looking at now is the finishing of the front portion of the frame of the hearse. Now what I've done is I've added 2 more pieces of 2x4 in the middle of the front of the frame, as you can see, and that is going to be for this 1/2-inch piece of plywood, and as you can see, it has been left down so that when this plywood is put on, which is just 1/2-inch CDX, that'll give you a base plate to mount the tongue assembly. Okay, what we're going to do now is take apart the frame, separate that, and make sure that my design works and that it is easy to take apart. As you can see, I've removed all the nuts and bolts, laid them in the back half of the frame, and now I'm going to lift that out of there and see if it does that. But I can't videotape and do it at the same time, so hang in there for a moment. There you go. I've successfully removed it, and I've laid it there. And now that I've done that, I'm going to put it all back together, and we're going to get on with the next step. We're now going to finish up
the front half of the hearse where the floor is being put down, so that then the chair support will go on that and we will be finished. These pieces of plywood are cut to fit the front and the back, and the reason it's that way is so you have access to the panel. It's down here that the front axle assembly is going to bolt to. So let's get started. I've now finished up screwing the deck on to the front frame portion, and now I've flipped it back over where I'm going to take and pull the thing apart again and make sure that it slides together real well, because I want it to be easy to take apart, easy to put together. This is a postscript to step 1 in building your hearse that I would like to clarify a few things and also add a few things and also give you some measurements. The first thing I'd like to mention is that this deck that I use, these slats that I got from work for free, these, you don't have to use these. If you want to make it easier on yourself to build, do the whole thing in plywood. Same with the top also I did in the slats. You can do it in plywood or masonite, either one. As for the dimensions, the back half of the frame is 6 feet from the very end to back here where it is joined with the front part of the frame. The front half of the frame sticks out to 2 feet 3 inches, 27 inches. That does not include the piece that is in the back that goes underneath, which is an additional 13 inches. Honey, what is it? Oh, you guys, come on. This is too much. The overall length is 8 feet 3 inches, right in that area, before the very nose of the hearse goes up. And the reason I'm giving you that total measurement is in case you decide you would like to make it the frame all in one piece. Totally understandable. If you've got the room, you don't have to take it apart and put it away. This would be the one way you could make it all a lot easier. The width of the frame is 26 inches, and we're talking about just the frame. The sides will add to it. They're separate and bolt on separately, and the doors as they are placed to where the hinges are screwed onto the sides. We will get to that as construction gets on. Thanks for watching part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Part 2 is going to deal with the suspension and the wheels, steering assembly. Anyway, we'll see you in part 2. Thanks for watching.